For Valentine's Day, I started thinking about the most romantic places I've been. There is Aruba, with its pristine beaches, rocky cliffs, an unusual landscape. There is Ireland, that is so friendly and welcoming you can't help but feel the love. Lucerne, Switzerland is enchanting in the summertime with its alpine mountains and medieval architecture. Bruges, Belgium is captivating with its narrow, cobblestone streets, canals, and beautiful buildings. And of course there is Hawaii. I've been to all the islands and they are all gorgeous. I'm especially fond of the Volcanoes National Park on the Big Island, but there is something about Waikiki Beach that is incredibly romantic, with the warm ocean waters and beautiful sunsets each night. As I pondered what would be my absolute favorite romantic destination, many came to mind that were places I visited with my late husband, but the place that rose to the top was a place I traveled alone. The reason I'm putting it on the top of my list of most romantic places is because it is the only place I have been solo that I really wished I was there with a partner. The place just screamed romance and made me wish for someone to share the experience. So what is the most romantic place I've been? The Amalfi Coast of Italy. I spent over a week there on a walking tour along the coast. I stayed mainly in Ravello and Positano, but traveled between the two. The entire area is so beautiful and scenic. However, what makes it rise to the top is the food and wine, which are incredible. The entire dining experience was worth the trip. In Positano, I kept coming back to this one restaurant that had melt-in-your-mouth raviolis and a wine pairing that was out of this world, not to mention amazing views. I saw quite a few couples on their honeymoon and thought they couldn't have picked a better spot. Let me share some of the images I took from this trip. I started the trip in Ravello. I booked a tour that handed you hiking directions from one hotel to another, and they would move your bags for you. It was an interesting and very active concept that appealed to me. Ravello sits high up on a cliff and overlooks the Tyrrhenian Sea. I started the walking tour from this city, and my first hike was 2 miles down a staircase. Yes, quite daunting. It was both exhilarating and exhausting at the same time, and I definitely felt it the next day. However, I loved the community, the views of the sea, the walking paths that took me through local villages, and I stayed in a quaint hotel that had gorgeous patios off each room. What's not to love? The first hike brought me back for a second night in this hotel, but the next day I hiked to another city that was more inland and nestled in a valley. There, my hikes took me through wooded areas to a mountaintop and back down again, with magnificent views from every angle. My next destination was Positano, and oh my gosh, what a gorgeous city it is. It is one of the steepest cities I have visited, with all the buildings rising up steeply from the shore. This gives almost every building a gorgeous view of the sea. I hiked from my hotel down to the shore, which presented a different view of the boats and shoreline. I also took a day boat trip from Positano to the island of Capri, which was a little too commercial for my taste, but still a pretty island and boat ride. Positano was definitely the high point of my trip, and I was glad the tour saved the best for last. I found myself sitting out on the hotel patio and just enjoying a snack and taking in the views. The nighttime was equally magical. For senior and solo travelers, please see my advice in the description below. So the Amalfi Coast is my top choice for the most romantic place. Please share in the comments section what your favorite romantic spot is. And for this Valentine's Day, let's share the love, everyone. Cheers!